Hello and welcome to 89U Music View. This is Tammy and today we have with us Jonathan Richman. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Tammy. How you doing?
All right, how you doing? Jonathan, you haven't played in New York for a long time. What have you been doing since the last time you played here?
Well, Tammy, I played in Europe. I played in Maine, and I've made another record.
What was it like playing in Europe?
Very nice. I played 40 shows in Holland.
Mm-hmm.
I played, that's a lot because Holland isn't that big, you know.
Right.
And I played about 11 shows in Belgium. Belgium isn't very big either.
No. Right.
And I played a show on Parisian television. And I played in Berlin for all the Germans, or some of the Germans.
Yeah.
Well, and then I played in Scandinavia for some of the Scandinavians. And I played in England.
Did you find
for some of the French. Well, just to see if you were paying attention.
Okay. Well, did you find that Europe was really different than the States?
Yeah, they didn't understand English quite as well.
Did it seem to make a difference that they didn't know what you were
saying? Yes, it did.
But they would still dance. The music was what was most important.
Usually.
Usually. So when you came back here, did you find the audience had changed in the time that you had been away? Was there any change?
No.
You didn't miss anything?
No.
Not at all.
I was only away 2 months.
Oh.
I mean, no one grew to be 8 feet tall or anything. Things were pretty much like they were.
Right. Did you find, someone once mentioned that they found the English audience was very different than the European audience.
That's true.
In what ways are they different?
It's hard to say, but they are. They're all different, but don't forget the French and the Belgian audiences are different, and they're all different.
Right, I see. Have you been living in Boston, or where are you living now?
Maine.
How do you like it up there?
Good.
What made you decide to move to Maine?
It's quiet, and I like, I love trees and stuff.
Yeah, it's really pretty up there.
Yes, it is.
So, how's your band lineup now?
Well, I have no band. I have not had a band in 2 years.
You're playing by yourself now?
That's the way I played in Europe. That's what we're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, how do you like playing by yourself?
Very much.
Do you find that there are pros and cons, or?
No, I just simply like it.
Are you more comfortable playing by yourself?
Yeah, it's more intimate.
What made you just decide to do that?
That was it, intimacy.
I see. So you're planning on staying that way then, just playing on your own? Live and on records?
On records, I use, strings, guitars, whatever the song requires.
Right. You are the focal point, though.
That's right.
So you don't feel that there's anything missing when you don't have a drummer there or anything like that? It doesn't really...
If I did, I'd add one.
Right. That's true.
That's right.
What's your audience like now? Do you find that you have a younger audience, an older audience?
Well, in Philadelphia, a whole family showed up, and that pleased me very much.
That's great. So you like playing to younger people, too?
Yeah.
Have you do you want to do any matinees or do anything specifically for younger people?
I'd love to do matinees.
Are you going to try to do that soon, or?
Whenever I'm popular enough. I don't think I'm popular enough yet.
You've gone from electric to acoustic. You've really gone back and forth a lot. Is that changed by your moods, or what?
Instruments aren't that important to me, to tell you the truth. Instruments are instruments.
I see. So it's more what this writing is better adapted to.
No, it has nothing to do with writing. It has mainly to do with the show, doing live shows. Electric guitars, you can't beat them for what I'm doing.
Right, I see.
Unlike, so it depends, and it depends on the song.
I see. Well, do you find, within the same city, if you play at different clubs, do you find the audiences are very different in different clubs?
Well, I played Tramps, I played Irving Plaza, and the audiences were very different. Partly just because Irving Plaza was so big compared to Tramps.
Do you find the type of people that go there very different?
Kind of, but it's easier to see what type of people you got in Tramps than in Irving Plaza because there's so many.
That's true, yeah.
In Irving Plaza.
How'd you like playing? They're obviously such different places, a stage and all.
They were good.
Do you prefer a larger stage or a smaller, more intimate?
I like them both for different reasons. I liked Irving Plaza, it was real exciting because it was a dance feeling. But, the Tramps thing worked out real good, especially by the end.
So now you're touring the country, right?
Yeah.
And so, have you toured the whole country before?
No, I've played parts of it.
Are you looking forward to this?
Yeah.
You're going to be doing the Midwest and everything like that?
That's right.
And you've never played there?
Yeah, I've played in Chicago before, and I've played in Iowa once, but I'm going to be playing much more places this time.
How do you like playing for small town people?
Well, when I play up in Maine, I play in towns that are very small,
Yeah.
but compared at least to the ones we're talking about, like Chicago and New York. I like it. A lot of times I like it better. Some ways I don't like it as much. There's differences.
Well, when you play up in Maine, now that things such as New Wave and just the old 60s rock and roll have hit cities like New York and Boston really heavily, have they hit places like Maine?
Fortunately not. In a lot of these places, that's why I like playing them better.
Yeah, so you're just seen as an individual sound, not in the...
I'm just seen as an unknown who's playing on Thursday nights in some of these places.
That's great.
Yeah.
Must be a good feeling.
It
so
is.
you play regularly and you just...
Yeah.
Is it more intimate then?
Damn right.
You get to know your audience really well.
You bet.
With the instrumentals that you do on your album, do you do them live too?
Yep.
With just one guitar?
That's me.
You don't find that it's losing anything?
A little, but it gains something too. It's exciting.
Okay, well, why don't we hear one of your songs right now? We're going to be hearing Back in Your Life.
Fair enough.
Okay, we're back, and that was Back in Your Life. Great song. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
No.
No, okay. Skip that one then.
Yeah.
You know, you seem to be doing a lot of ballads now. Are you really into going into a mellower sound, or how do you...
Well, I love intimacy, you know, with my audience.
Right.
Well, and there's nothing more intimate than one of those ballads, as we know.
How's your audience? Are they very receptive to it?
Yeah. Usually. Especially by the end of the night.
How important is success to you?
I want to be able to play for housewives and little kids. So I don't know whether the numbers is that important. I'd like to get a little more successful so I could play for more housewives and little kids. I'd love to be successful enough today to do a matinee.
Yeah.
If I was popular enough, you see, you got to be a certain level of popularity so that you can have enough housewives and kids in one area who want to come see your show.
Right.
And I don't just want to play for... No, I want to play for different kinds, but those are, if that's an example of the kind of things I'd like to do. So I'd like to be a little more successful.
Well, do you feel that record sales are, show success in any way? Do they think that...
I guess that way people come to your show more.
So when you think of success, do you think of it as a goal in record sale, or as more of reaching your audience that you would like to reach?
Yeah, the second one.
Have you found that it's been growing at all?
Yeah, slowly. Don't forget, I haven't had any records released in this country in a real way. Back in Your Life was not released and distributed. It wasn't distributed throughout the United States very much at all.
How's your records doing in Europe?
Very well, most of them.
Are they distributed really well?
Yeah, that's the difference. They are distributed, period. Which they have not been here, really, for years.
Why is that?
Different deals, different things. Not working out.
I see. So when you go to Europe, a lot more people are familiar
That's right.
with what you've been doing. How does that, does it feel better to go someplace that you know that your record's been there?
It feels good to be there, especially since I don't live there. If I lived there, I might not like it as much, but it's fun to be over there and have people know who I am, and then go back to a place where they don't.
Would you ever want to live in Europe?
No.
No, you don't like it that much.
I like it okay, but New England's my place,
Yeah. So, are the lyrics really important to you? They seem to be really important in your songs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thought going into exactly. Do you write more at the top of your head?
Yeah, the second, but that's important. Just because I write it, I don't even write them down usually. But the thing is, that just off the top of my head is the way I can get my deepest feelings out. Because then it's loose, you see, then it's casual, and that's the way the deepest feelings come out for me anyway.
Yeah, so your lyrics really do reflect how you feel.
Yes, they do.
Oh, what topics do you like to sing about? Is there any certain theme?
Well, just go through the albums, and that way you'll know. Just look at the titles, and they're all there, whatever's there. That's what I like.
Do you find that you write more about a certain theme, or just more about life in general and your experiences in general?
Well... let's try that again. That was a nice idea. Let's try it one more time.
Well, do you feel that you write more about everyday experiences, things, just anything that happens to you?
Or what's the alternative?
Or just like specific feelings, like do you write specifically on just your feelings on love and relationships or this and that? Do you just go more for themes or anything?
I think it's not like that. I have a feeling, like, suppose it occurs to me that people all over the world are starving for affection. Well, then there's one.
Yeah.
And then I'll just, if I want to be back in your life, just what I feel.
Do you write a lot about things outside of your own personal experiences, things that you feel other people are going through?
No.
You keep more to what you're into?
Yes.
A lot of people seem to be covering your songs now.
Is that true?
Well, Roadrunner.
By all, not that many people, is that right? A few?
A few, but a few more than the people that cover other people's songs.
Is that right?
Do you know what
I guess. Anyway, I'm flattered when people cover my song.
You like it. How do you feel about their interpretations? Do you really care how they interpret the song?
I'm curious. If I hear something good, I would be moved.
Yeah, I see. Do you like covering other people's songs?
Well, it depends on what I mean by cover. Half of my shows, when I play a lot of places, I do. A lot of the show is all rock and roll from the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel any way about it. I just do it. Like if I like a song, I simply sing it.
I see.
I don't see it as covering it, in fact, because a cover is this thing. Cover is a specific thing. You know what it means?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't do quote covers is when you want to play in a bar, and you want to impress the owner, so you do a cover set.
Right.
Like, with all different materials, which you may not particularly like, but you cover it or something. Or when you want to release a record that you think the other guy isn't distributing and you think you can capitalize, you're going to release the same thing, like they did in the 50s,
Right.
So that's different. What I do is, I just do the songs that I like.
When you do a song that you like that someone else has written, do you like to do it the way it was originally done or your own interpretation?
My own, because that's a good point, because I was just going to say that. If sometimes I start to choke on certain lyrics. Sometimes I can sing them and not mind, but sometimes they sneak up on me and I don't feel like singing just certain little things that they'll say.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll change them to make it my own. Like I changed Lydia around when we did the old Louis Lyman and Teen Court song. It's not much different, but just little things.
Put the personal touch on it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we hear another song of yours, an instrumental called Lover Please.
Good, I'm proud of that one.
That song almost sounds like it has a Spanish influence. Do you listen to that type of music?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
So, what music do you listen to other than, rock and roll?
Oh, yeah, other than old-time rock and roll, I listen to, I like Mexican and Spanish music and things like that. Latin, old-time Latin. I like American Indian singing. I like to hear African singing. I like mainly vocal music.
So do you find that you're finding new types of music all the time? Are you constantly looking for new stuff?
I used to for a while. Now I haven't been looking so much, but I still find things anyway that kind of hit me over the head.
Up in Maine, how is it finding new stuff up there?
The same way. Sometimes you'll just hear little kids sing.
What's the radio like up in Maine?
I don't know. I never listened to it when I was in the city or in the country, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. Your newest songs seem to be more positive, and they're very romantic, a lot of them. Do you find that reflects your state of mind? Like, are you starting to, be more positive towards your outlook?
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, seems to me that my songs have been positive for quite some time.
Yeah, are you happier?
Usually. Sometimes I'm sadder, but whatever it is, I'm feeling it more. So in a way, that's positive. Even a sad feeling to me is positive if you feel it rather than just get... see, there's a difference between sad and, quote, depressed, end quote. A lot of people are depressed because they don't know how to be sad.
Right.
Because getting sad hurts more than being depressed. Depressed is when you make it all appear in your head.
Yeah.
Then you get depression. But being sad you gotta it takes some ability to take pain.
When you write a lyric, like a sad lyric on something that's been on your mind, do you feel like it's just taken a weight off your shoulder, like you've said it to someone?
Well, that's why I like singing live, and it depends on the audience. Some audiences, see what I care about, my only worry when I sing live is that the audience isn't going to turn me on. Then I'm worried. Then I'm in trouble, kind of. But if I like the audience, then it's magic. So if I love the audience, then it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Then I really enjoy telling them how I feel. But other times I'm a little embarrassed because I feel they're not going to understand it.
Right. Well, since your audience is so important for you, how do you feel when you're in a studio recording an album?
Not as good as live. Live is the thing for me.
Where have you done most of your recording?
Well, San Francisco, Boston, Long Island, we did Back in Your Life at the old Ultrasonic Studios, which were there.
Oh wow. So is there any specific reason why you pick a certain place to record at, a certain area?
No, I don't know much about it. I just the latest thing was done a lot in Watertown, Mass, and some in L.A. And the reason we went to L.A. to get some session men for certain songs.
So wherever you happen to be is where you record then?
Yeah, or if there's something we need, like that you go to L.A. for, then we'll go to L.A.
Right. I see. Since you're living up in Maine now and everything, do you find that you're settling down a little more?
How do you mean?
So just building a home for yourself, someplace,
No, right now I'm rootless. Right now I have no home.
Do you miss that?
No, right now I like it, because I would be lonely if I had a home right now. I like traveling right now.
And you're going to have a lot of it in the next coming months.
That's right.
What do you think of, what's going on? You mentioned before that you write more about your own stuff, about your own personal experiences instead of what you see in the world around you. Do you write anything about, or do you think that just reflects on your moods?
See, to me there's no difference. To me it's the same. That's why I had a hard time answering the question before, because to me it's not really an either-or thing. I just write how I feel.
What do you think about the whole British invasion that's going on now?
I didn't know what was happening. I thought the British invasion took place in the early 60s.
Yeah, well, it seems like along with the 60s sound that's coming back, they're starting to bring back a British invasion, too.
They are?
I don't know. Have you looked in the papers how many British bands are playing around?
There are who?
Oh, lots of them.
Like?
Well, this interview's going to be dated if I name who. But, okay, look at it. Like, Reckless Eric was around, and then Monochrome Set's been around.
Oh, I see. You mean new British bands?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, not the old ones.
Oh.
No, that was that British invasion.
Have you seen the Trogs, incidentally, lately?
No.
I recommend the Trogs.
Do you?
I saw the Trogs a year ago. I recommend them.
Yeah, they're playing up around Max's a lot.
They are?
They're putting out a live album for Max's.
Well, I would like, if they were playing, I'd go 50 miles out of my way to see them any day.
Yeah? They still haven't lost it from...
I think Reg Presley is wonderful.
Okay, well, why don't we listen to another one of your songs now called Party in the Woods Tonight?
Fair enough.
Jonathan, what do you like doing outside of playing and listening to music?
That's actually one of my favorite things to do, is when I'm at home. I love to sing with people, if there's people around. And, let's see. I read some, I explore, I like to just roam around. I like, what else do I like?
Well, you mentioned before you like horseback riding.
Yeah, well, one time I tried it. I know I would love to do more of that. I love anything, all those kind of things like that.
What kind of, books do you like to read? What kind of topics?
Oh, there's this guy named Farley Moat who writes about people like the Siberians and the Eskimos and wolves and things like that. And he's funny as hell. Victor Borge. I'm a Victor Borge fan. He wrote a book about the opera and stuff. I love it. He's hilarious.
Do you like going to films and stuff like that, too?
I like old ones. I love Jimmy Stewart ones. I love things that make me cry. Modern films don't make... I like Rocky, because that made me cry.
Yeah. Do you like any of the sophisticated European films?
No.
You go more for ones that take your emotions out of you.
That's right.
That's great. So do you try to do that with your songs, make people cry, make people really feel what you're doing?
Yes.
Do you feel that, when you are getting across to an audience, when you're making them cry, can you tell?
Yes. And it's frustrating when I can't.
Well, do you find it, most of the time you do find it that you do?
No? I find a lot of times, sometimes I feel frustrated because I say, boy, if I heard that, I'd get chills up my spine if I were out there listening to that. But these people, they still don't get it. Sometimes I think that people don't want to believe that I'm real. They still want to put a distance between themselves and me.
So, because that's funny, because a lot of times people try to touch the performer. They want to get through to him.
Yeah.
Do you feel that they're building their own wall then?
Sometimes. You see, fortunately, there's a difference between the men and the women in the audience a lot of the time. What's
the difference?
Well, the men are more interested in building walls. A lot of times the people laughing nervously, like trying to make light of it, are the men. Like, I liked the show at Tramps. By the end of the night, there was some feeling being generated, so I liked it.
When you do write a song, right, and you get through to the audience, do you feel that, do you think the audience is aware that they're building the wall? Do you think that they're blaming you for it?
Yes.
They're blaming you for it?
I would say. I don't think that they will be aware of it for another year or two, because I used to build walls myself, and I know that it takes a while before you admit it.
See, how do you feel about you've gotten a lot of press and all that. How do you feel about the press?
Some of it, I've been amazed, because I don't expect much. So sometimes I've had guys, writers, write things, and I've really admired what they've written. So it's funny.
Do you feel that the press usually gives a good representation of what the artist is about?
No, from my experience, generally not.
Do you think...
Even ones who've been flattering to me, a lot of times have given me credit for things I never had in mind.
So you think they just really don't understand?
Well, yes, I think that, in my experience at any rate, the press often reads into things, has a hard time avoiding that.
So your stuff is more, take it as you hear it.
As you feel it.
Don't sit down and try to analyze between the lines too much.
You'll never get it that way.
I see. Do you find that most music is like that?
The music I love is to be felt. Like my favorite is, that's why I love the vocal groups of the 50s, even if they're just singing syllables, just the feeling in them.
There seems to be a big resurgence in dancing and DJs at
Good.
clubs. How do you like that?
All right.
You like to dance yourself?
Damn right.
You like to make music that people dance to?
I consider myself a singer first, a dancer second, and a guitar player third.
When you go to a club to see a band, do you dance?
If I go to a club, it's because I like the band, and if I go to a band, if I go to see a band that I like, that's what I'm there for.
How do you feel about people that just stand there and stare?
Not as much as I like it when people dance. That's my favorite.
So you'd rather have people dancing than just looking at you?
Yeah, that's why I liked the Irving Plaza show, for that reason, because there was lots of dance space. See, then again, there was something good about the Tramp show, because it was intimate, so I like to have a little bit of both,
Yeah, I see. So you like to have a lot of variety then?
That's why I don't mind playing all these different style places I've been playing, because there's a cabaret atmosphere that I enjoy too, because a lot of times the slow songs go over better there. But I can do whole nights of old rock and roll too, if the audience is really dancing and I'm in the mood, so there's good things about that too.
So you just change your set. You feel that just by changing your set and doing whatever your mood is, you represent yourself best that night?
That's the only way I can do it. I never use a set plan.
That's great. In Europe, when you play there, most of the clubs smaller, or are they...
It's the same as here, all different.
Okay, well, it seems that we're running out of time right now. I'd like to thank you for coming here.
Okay.
You're a wonderful guest.
Thanks, Ken.
And I'd like to thank our engineer, Greg All, and this has been 89U Music View.